Senate Bill 41 was signed in October, hopefully will lower prescription drug prices and increase transparency. Transparency on whom, you might ask? The pharmacy benefit managers, the middlemen between you and the drug companies that steer you to prescription drugs that make more money for them. Let's bring in Sonya Frausto, who you own 10 Acres Pharmacy in Land Park.
I did.
Very popular pharmacy, I might add, compounding pharmacy. You closed down. Why?
Yes. So we closed down on August 20th, and we closed because we were seeing lower and under-reimbursed rates back to our pharmacy from the PBMs for the medications that we were dispensing. And financially, that just wasn't feasible for us to continue to stay open. So we decided to close.
Okay, so how will the adjustments with SB 41, how will that help? Is it safe to say, and I've talked to pharmacists, that the pharmacy benefit manager, who's in between the drug company and the person buying the drugs, you and me, they're the problem. They're the middlemen. They're making money not on the side, but this is not good.
Yeah, sometimes we would purchase our drugs for X amount of cost and we would be reimbursed less than what we purchased it for. And then the patient would actually be paying the full cost of the drug because the insurance company would pay nothing for it. So with SB 41, it's really pivotal legislation for us. So what we're going to see is a decrease in spread pricing. So now whatever the pharmacy charges the PBM has to charge the insurances, or the patient will pay that cost. So there's no increase in costs to the insurer or the patient. So now it is accurate pricing for the drugs. The second thing, it's going to prevent patients from having to be steered to go to one pharmacy or another. Mm-hmm. Now they can choose which pharmacy that they want to go to, which is really important. Mm-hmm. And I think the oversight that we're going to see from the government, they have to actually register now to be, I think it's the Department of Managed Care. Okay. So that's going to make sure that their contracts are going to be equitable. And then they're also going to have to make equitable, fair contracts with pharmacies that are not PBM affiliated. So that's really going to allow some transparency in the entire process. Right now, everything is opaque. No one can see what anyone's being charged, which is really frustrating.
Well, if not sharing anything out of school here, but for our company, they make you go with CVS Specialty. Yeah. There's no other option. You can go to pick up you could go to Walgreens if it's a one-time thing, but if you're on a continued drug, they say you have to go. So would we still have to go with what the company says, or would we have that other option?
You potentially could have that other option. One of the things that patients can do is, we ran in this with one of the insurance companies, is they can call their insurance company and say, we want to support our local pharmacy, or we want to go to a pharmacy that's close to us. Right. And although they might not be able to pick up a 90-day, they will be able to pick up a 30-day at that pharmacy. They just have to call the insurance company to tell them. I think, having community pharmacies are so important in every community because it allows access to care. Pharmacies are resources. You develop a relationship with your pharmacist. Sure. And pharmacists are highly qualified to be able to provide you information and take care of you. And I think it's a shame that we're seeing pharmacies close across the state because of these practices by the PBMs. Well,
not only your local pharmacy, the mom and pop place, but you've seen a lot of Rite Aids, the Walgreens. Yep. What is the future of the pharmacies that we've all known through the years?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I think,
please.
I think what PBMs are wanting to do is wanting everybody to go to mail order. But the problem with going to mail order is that you don't get that relationship with that pharmacist, and you don't build that community, right? Because mail order, they don't care who you are. It's hard to get a hold of somebody. Right. I think what we'll start to see is smaller footprint pharmacies out there. So pharmacies that become affiliated with a lot of insurance companies, and so that patients can have like a home to go to. Okay. But we'll still see independent pharmacies because you'll still need those independent pharmacies. Sure. We're the ones that support community.
All right, Sonya Frausto, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.